One day, a fruit lady came down the road in front of Nanda Maharaj's house. She called out, "If anyone wants fruits, please come and take them from me." The Lord was so very beautiful and charming that the fruit lady just filled his hands and arms with as many fruits as the child could hold. When she looked back at her basket again, she saw that it had become filled with jewels, where there had only been fruits a moment before. Just by getting a few of her fruits, Lord Krishna had in turn given her a great fortune. Krishna and Balaram were now old enough to take charge of the small calves. So, along with other little cowherd boys, they went to the fields with their calves. Sometimes they played on their flutes, and sometimes they played ball with amalaki fruits. Sometimes they danced and made tinkling sounds with their ankle bells. Sometimes they made themselves into bulls and cows by covering themselves with blankets. Once when Krishna and Balaram played there, a demon named Vatsasura turned himself into a small calf. But Krishna saw this. He said, "Balaram, that is the Vatsasura demon, not a calf." Both brothers followed him and sneaked up on him. Krishna caught the demon calf by the two back legs and tail, whipped him around very hard, and threw him up into a tree. Whoosh! When the demon fell down from the top of the tree and lay dead on the ground, all the playmates of Krishna called out, "Well done, well done," and the demigods in the sky showered flowers with great satisfaction. Every day, the cowherd boys went to the bank of the river to water their calves. The boys would drink water also. While drinking one day, they saw a huge animal which looked something like a duck and was as big as a hill. They all became afraid. The name of this beast was Bhaktivedanta, and he was a friend of the demon Kamsa. He came toward them slowly. Then, quickly, he attacked Krishna with his sharp beaks and swallowed him up. The boys became so terribly afraid that they didn't know what to do. Suddenly, the Bhaktivedanta demon felt a burning in his throat. Krishna was becoming hotter and hotter like fire in the demon's throat. Finally, the demon vomited Krishna up and tried to kill him by pinching him in his beaks. But Krishna was faster than the demon. He caught hold of those great big beaks. In front of all his friends, he broke open Bhaktivedant's mouth just as easily as a child splits a blade of grass. Up in the sky, the demigods played music with bugles, drums, and conch shells, and showered camellia flowers, the sweetest smelling of all flowers. Early one morning, Krishna got out of bed and blew a buffalo horn to call all his friends together. Keeping the calves in front of them, they started out for the forest. They each carried sticks, flutes, and horns, as well as lunch bags, and each taking care of thousands of calves. Each boy wore pearls, gems, and golden ornaments and was very jolly and happy. The boys played many games. One would say, "I will go and touch Krishna first." Some of them played on their flutes or bugles made of buffalo horn. Some of them followed the peacocks and made sounds like the cuckoo. While the birds flew in the sky, the boys chased their shadows along the ground and danced like the peacocks. Others played with the frogs and jumped in the water after them. Some went to an empty well and laughed at the echoing sounds calling back to them from deep inside. One day, the Aghasura demon watched Krishna and his friends playing in the forests. Aghasura was the younger brother of Putana and Vatsasura, and he thought,
Krishna killed my brother and sister. Now I shall kill him, along with all his friends and calves.
So the great demon Aghasura made himself longer and longer and longer until he was 8 miles long. He stretched his mouth wide open just like a mountain cave. His lower lip touched the ground, and his upper lip touched the clouds way up in the sky. His eyes were blazing like fire. Since he wanted to swallow all the boys at once, especially Krishna, he sat on the path, waiting. At first, the boys thought the demon was only a statue, but then they began to talk with each other about him. All the boys looked at the beautiful lotus-like face of Krishna, and they began to clap and smile. They were not afraid, and so they marched forward right into the big open mouth of the serpent. The demon was waiting for Krishna. When Krishna went in, all the demigods who had gathered to see the fun, hiding in the clouds, began to cry, "Alas!" Suddenly, Krishna began to grow bigger and bigger inside the demon's throat. Aghasura demon coughed and choked. His big fiery eyes moved in pain, and he couldn't breathe, and the demon dropped dead. So Krishna brought all the boys and calves with him safe and sound right out of the mouth of the demon. The demigods were very joyful and showered flowers on the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. They offered prayers, played drums, and sang songs. Jai, Jai, all glories to Krishna. After saving his friends from the mouth of Aghasura, Lord Krishna brought them near the Yamuna River and said,
My dear friends, this is a nice place to eat lunch and play on the soft sandy beach. Just see the sweet-smelling lotus flowers floating in the water. Just listen to the chirping birds and peacocks and the whispering of the leaves in the trees. Let us have our lunch right here. It is already late and we are all so hungry. The calves can stay nearby to drink water from the river and eat the soft grass here.
Sitting down on the ground, they began to open their lunch boxes. Lord Sri Krishna sat down and all the boys sat around him in a circle. In his left hand, he held a lump of food made with yogurt, butter, rice, and pieces of fruit salad. He was laughing and joking, enjoying lunch with his friends in Vrindavan. In the sky, the demigods watched the boys while flying in their airplanes. Lord Brahma was especially enjoying what he saw. Meanwhile, the calves had walked too deep into the forest. The boys became afraid that their calves were lost, so they cried out, "Krishna! Krishna!" Just by calling out Krishna, at once they felt safe from any danger. Krishna said,
My dear friends, please don't worry. Sit right here. I will look for the calves myself while you eat your lunch.
Somehow Lord Brahma stole all the calves and cowherd boys and took them to another place where they slept. Though Lord Krishna looked for them everywhere, he still could not find them at all. But he knew that Lord Brahma had taken all the boys and calves. So Krishna made himself into exact copies of each and every boy and calf. When Krishna went back to the village of Vrindavan, no one knew what had happened. Actually, the cows' love for their calves and the gopis' love for their boys grew even more, just like their love for Krishna. One day, Krishna and Balaram went out with the boys and calves. They saw the cows up on top of Govardhan Hill run down to their calves with tails up and full milk bags pouring milk on the ground out of love for their calves. The men up on the top of the hill could not stop them and had to chase them. When they came all the way down and saw their children, they picked them up in their arms very happily. After that, they went back up to the top of Govardhan Hill with their runaway cows. Along the way, they thought of their children with tears of love in their eyes. Balaram saw this and thought, "This must be Krishna's trick." Balaram asked him,
My dear Krishna, why did you turn yourself into these boys and calves? Where have those other boys and calves gone? They were all stolen by Lord Brahma the day when we had our picnic, so I made new cowherd boys and calves, so the people in Vrindavan would not know that they were really all lost.
While Krishna and Balaram were talking, Lord Brahma came back to see the fun made by his stealing the boys and calves. He saw them all there and thought, "How can the same boys and calves all be here, playing with Krishna?" Then Brahma saw something very wonderful happen. Krishna changed all those boys and calves into beautifully decorated four-armed Vishnu forms. And then he saw Krishna alone, as a small cowherd boy, again with a lump of food in his left hand. All the Vishnu forms had gone, and Krishna was looking for his friends and calves, just as he was actually doing when they first disappeared. Lord Brahma got down from his great swan carrier and fell just like a golden stick to offer his respectful obeisances. Seeing the Lord right in front of him, he began to offer wonderful prayers. Lord Brahma said, "Let me offer my obeisances unto the son of Maharaj Nanda, who is standing in front of me with conch shell, earrings, and a peacock feather on his head. You are the Supreme Lord, the beginning of everything. Everything comes from you and again goes back to you, and you stay the same as before. Please accept me as your loving servant. I hope you will excuse me for disturbing you." Lord Brahma walked around Krishna 3 times, offering his humble obeisances, and went back to his home called Brahma Loka. Then Krishna's friends, now on the bank of the Yamuna again, were eating lunch just as they were when Krishna left to look for the lost calves. When Krishna came, the boys said, "Please come and let us eat together." Krishna smiled and sat down. Along with his friends, cows, and brother Balaram, Krishna went every day through the forests of Vrindavan, which were full of sweet grass, bees, flowers, and fruits. There were chirping birds, clear water lakes, and sweet-smelling breezes. The trees, heavy with fruits, bowed down to touch the ground as if welcoming Krishna, and that made him smile. While walking, Krishna and Balaram played their flutes. The boys made the sound of bees and cuckoos, or danced like the peacocks and the swans in the lakes. Krishna also moved his neck, making his friends laugh. Sometimes the boys made sounds like tigers and lions, and then ran away like the small animals there out of fear. When they were tired, they would sit down. Balaram would put his head on the lap of one of the boys to take a nap, and Krishna would come and massage his legs or fan him with a palm leaf. When Krishna became tired, sometimes he lay down under a big tree with a root or the lap of a cowherd boy as his pillow. Some of the boys rubbed his legs and fanned him, while others sang sweetly so he could rest very nicely. One day his friends said,
Dear Balaram, your arms are very strong. Dear Krishna, you are very expert in killing all kinds of disturbing demons. In the forest called Talavan, there are big palm trees full of fruits. Some fruits fall out of the trees, and some are very ripe even in the trees. It is a very nice place, but because of a big demon, Dhenukasura, it is not safe to go there. No one can get the fruits. Not even animals or birds sleep there. They have all left. Maybe you are the only ones who can kill such demons. Dear Krishna and Balaram, let us go there and enjoy those sweet fruits.
To please his friends, Krishna and Balaram went to the Talavan forest, where Balaram began to shake the trees with strong arms. All the ripe fruits fell down to the ground. Dhenukasura, that donkey demon living there, heard the sound of the fruits falling and came running quickly, making the whole ground shake. Balaram quickly caught the donkey's legs with one hand. He wheeled him around and threw him high into a treetop where he lay dead. The demon's body was so heavy that the tree fell down upon other trees, and many fell down upon each other. It looked as if a great windy hurricane had blown down all the trees in the forest, one after another. Then all the friends of Dhenukasura came running. Krishna and Balaram caught each donkey by the back legs. They wheeled them around and killed them by throwing them into the palm trees, just like Dhenukasura. Because of so many different colors of dead donkeys, it looked as if clouds of many colors were floating in the trees. The demigods showered flowers on Krishna and Balaram, playing music and singing devotional prayers. A few days after the killing of Dhenukasura, people began to come into the Talavan forest to collect fruits. The birds and animals began to live there again, without being afraid. In the summer, the boys and cows often drank the water at the Yamuna River. Within the river, there was a big lake where the great serpent known as Kaliya used to live. The water in it got so dirty and poisonous because of the black serpent Kaliya. One hot day, the boys and cows who went to drink there became sick and fell down dead. But Krishna brought them back to life simply by looking at them. Then Krishna climbed up a big kadamba tree on the bank of the river. He tightened his belt and jumped into the poisonous lake. With an angry heart, Kaliya grabbed Krishna with his strong coils for 2 hours. The boys became afraid. Mother Yashoda fell to the ground crying because she thought her wonderful child was in terrible trouble. Then Krishna made his body bigger, so the serpent could not hold him anymore. Then Krishna jumped on him, just as Garuda swoops down upon a snake. Kaliya tried to bite him, but Krishna moved quickly around him. As Krishna and Kaliya moved in a circle, the serpent became very, very tired. Krishna pressed down the serpent's heads and jumped up on them. He began to dance upon the hoods of the serpent, which were moving to and fro. While Krishna danced on his hoods, Kaliya tried to push him down with some of his other hoods. But Krishna took control of all of them. He began to kick that demon with his lotus feet. Kaliya started vomiting all kinds of garbage, fire, and other poisonous and dirty things. He was almost dead and began to realize that Krishna really is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The serpent's wives, known as the Nagapatnis, bowed before the Lord. They prayed that he please excuse Kaliya, their husband. Kaliya humbly prayed to Lord Krishna.
I am born as a serpent. Therefore, by nature, I am very angry. By your mercy only can I give up my bad habits.
Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead ordered the serpent in front of everyone and said,
Leave this lake right now and take all your family. Do not poison the Yamuna River so we can drink its sweet waters.
Kaliya's wives began to offer nice clothes, flowers, garlands, jewels, ornaments, sandalwood pulp, lotus flowers, and nice fruits. In this way, they made the Lord happy and left to go to the ocean. Mother Yashoda, Rohini, Maharaj Nanda, and the cowherd men and boys were very happy to see Krishna back safely on dry land with them, and they all hugged Krishna in turn, pressing him to their chests. Every day Krishna played his flute and enjoyed the Vrindavan forest with his elder brother Balaram and the cowherd boys. They played hide and seek, and sometimes they went swinging underneath the trees. Once, while they were playing, a big demon named Pralambasura came to play. The demon made himself look just like one of the cowherd boys, but of course Krishna knew he was a demon, so he thought of a plan. Krishna called all his friends to play in duel fighting. Some were on Krishna's side and some on Balaram's side. They began their game, and Balaram's teammates were the winners. So Krishna's teammates carried them on their backs through the forest. Soon Balaram saw that Pralambasura didn't look like a small cowherd boy anymore. His demon body, with gold helmet and earrings, got bigger, eyes blazing like fire and mouth flashing sharp teeth. Balaram then beat him hard on the head with his strong fists. Immediately the demon fell down dead with a smashed head and blood pouring from his mouth. When the demon crashed to the ground, all the boys rushed over and said, "Well done, well done!" And all the demigods showered flowers from the skies. Meanwhile, the cows had walked far away, deep into the forest to eat the nice grass. Krishna and Balaram and their friends followed their footprints and the path of eaten grass. They heard the cows crying, and Krishna began to call all the cows by their names. The cows mooed happily. But by this time, a big forest fire had started all around the boys and cows, and they were all very, very afraid. All the boys cried,
Dear Krishna, help us! Now we are burning from this blazing hot fire!
Krishna looked at his friends and said, Don't be afraid. Then he quickly swallowed up all the flames of the fire and saved them all. They knew Krishna was not like any of the other boys, but was very, very special.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.